Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new online series for 2019. In this series, I'm calling it the Year of You because this is going to be a year of self-care for all of us. So for those of you who are here on the live class or listening to the recording, I want to welcome you to the very first class of the year. And so this one is going to be all about reflecting and growing authentically when it comes to self-care. My name is Allie Phillips, and I am going to be running this series this whole year. So the information I'm going to share is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. I'm sharing self-care information as well as lifestyle techniques and essential oil techniques that can help you with your own daily self-care. So for me, I'm a former prosecuting attorney. Currently, I am a legal educator and public speaker to criminal justice professionals at conferences all around the world. I am a published author. I am an advocate on behalf of animals and families. I'm also a nonprofit CEO. I'm the CEO and owner of my healing business, Manifested Harmony. I'm a young living educator. And so as you can tell by all of that, I need self-care because I have so many plates spinning in my multi-career that I just need to grab the oils every day and do very specific techniques to keep myself balanced so that I can really be my best in everything that I so love to do. And so, like I said, 2019 is the year of you. And so what you're seeing on your screen right now is a list of the topics, the self-care topics that we're going to be covering all throughout the year. And so each month has a specific theme, and I am going to be posting tips, like my daily self-care tips, on my Facebook page and Instagram page. So if you're not familiar with those pages, on Facebook, it's Manifested Harmony. On Instagram, it's called Allie Phillips Pet Oils. And you're going to see daily tips on there and lots of other information. And so January is Reflect and Grow Authentically month. And so this is really, and I'm going to get into this in just a little bit, but this is about blooming where you are planted at this moment that you are hearing this, which means letting go of 2018 and all the other past years. And wherever you are right now, even if you feel that you are under concrete, flowers can bloom in the cracks of concrete. So it's blooming where you are planted and just going from there. And so I hear so much from people that they sacrifice their own self-care because of their busy lifestyle or their family has demands on them. And for me, I am choosing to take care of myself in 2019. That is something that is so incredibly critical because, like I said, if I don't take care of myself, then all of the businesses that I am in charge of are going to collapse. So this is really what we're going to be talking about this entire year. So as we have just ended 2018 and just started 2019, I want you to ditch your resolutions. I really do. I actually don't like that word because it has such a negative connotation with it. Because to resolve means to find a solution to a problem, and you are not a problem. No matter what happened in 2018, it was not a problem. The way that you showed up for your life in 2018 was necessary for your growth and necessary to get you where you are at this moment. So this is a time to reflect, to learn, to create an intention, a positive shift, a spark of magic so that you can manifest from self-love and back it with action. That's what we're going to be doing all year long. So if you are somebody who made resolutions or you use that word, I'm really encouraging you to strike that word out of your vocabulary. Just strike it out, because we're going to do this a different way. So self-care begins with reflecting. So I want you, if you're here on the live call, I want you, if you're comfortable, type in the chat. Nobody can see it on the recording, but type in the chat a word when I ask you, how do you feel about 2018? I have been asking this to a lot of people, and the looks on their faces are looks of pain. And I have found that reflecting back on the past year can be painful, but you're going to find themes. And one theme that I have found, especially if you didn't reach a goal or do what you wanted to do, it's actually exhausting. It weighs you down. And then it's harder to pick yourself back up the next year with the same goal when you're exhausted. And so I want you to pull out those goals from 2018 and look at what didn't happen and really be honest about why, because this is where you're going to find themes. And often the theme is, I didn't do the work, or I didn't even try. Because no one really fails at a goal, they just quit. But if a goal doesn't materialize, or you didn't do what you wanted to do, you feel like a failure, but it's not failure. Often it is just, you didn't do the work, or you just didn't even try. You just quit. And that's different than failing. So once you debrief 2018 and you find the themes of why you didn't reach whatever you wanted to reach, then I want you to flip it on its head. And I want you to make a list of everything that went right or everything that made you happy, because that's going to put you in the energy of gratitude of getting this year of 2019 off on the right step. So I did this because I had one massive goal evade me in 2018. It evaded me in 2017. That little bugger just doesn't want me to catch it. And I was so laser focused on that initially I wasn't looking at all the amazing stuff that I achieved in 2018. So when I flipped it on its head and made basically a year gratitude list of everything that went right and everything that made me happy, I was stunned. I came up with a list of 22 significant things. And when I say gratitude, I'm, like I have a daily gratitude practice where, I'm grateful for my pillow. I'm grateful for my cats. I'm grateful for my family. No, when I did this yearly gratitude list for 2018, I'm talking about big stuff like I launched my nonprofit organization. I raised 5 figures worth of money for my nonprofit. I was invited to teach again at Young Living's Animal and Oils Conference. I spent time in Alaska. So to me, it was big stuff. And it really flipped that one evasive goal on its head and made it seem not so significant. And so that's what I really want you to do. And then once you're done reflecting, self-care continues in finding your authentic self. Now, there's a lot of people online, on social media, talking about being authentic, but it's like, what the heck does that mean? One thing that I think we can all agree on is that most people are not authentic. They put on a happy face and a happy mask. They say, I'm fine, when they really are not. They're not saying what they need to say. They're in relationships that are not right for them. They are in work that's not right for them. They are living in a location that's not feeding their soul. They are living out other people's expectations, and all of that drains you. When you are not you, you are drained. And so if you find that you're numb and out of touch with people, you're not you. When you are authentic, it is the best version of you, the absolute best version of you. I actually know a couple of people who think they're being authentic when they speak their truth, but it comes out very mean-spirited. And they say, well, I'm speaking my truth, I'm being authentic. And it's like, no, you're being a bully, because being authentic is the best version of you, because it's getting very deep to your core being, to your higher purpose, to your soul. And that is always the best version of you. And so if you find that you're going through life to please other people, to please your spouse, to please your children, to please your parents, to please your family, to please your boss, to please your friends, to please your neighbors, to please your pets, you're not you. And it's exhausting. I know, I've been there. I really have. And so it's about stop pretending to be someone that you're not, because it really is exhausting. And that's why so many people need self-care, because we really wear masks all day, because it just almost comes down to the single issue that we're afraid to be ourselves. But why are we afraid? Like, seriously, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like, I kind of joke all the time that, you know, what's the worst that's going to happen? Is somebody going to kick me? Are they going to punch me in the face? Are they going to bite me? No, that's never happened. So really, why are we afraid to be ourselves? And often it's just because of fear. And so we walk through life with fear. And when you're walking through your life with fear, you're not living your life. It's not your life. But when you are you, it's energizing. When you're authentically you, it's energizing. And so if you think you don't have time for self-care, if that is your initial response to self-care, then you are not living your life, and you really do need self-care. So each month when I talk about our different self-care topic, I'm going to talk about a different chakra. I'm going to talk about the energy layers. And so for this month, we're at the earth chakra. We are starting right at the very bottom. So I am certified in 3 different energy healing modalities as a master teacher. And so I have studied the chakras a lot. And most people don't talk about the earth chakra. But I want to talk about the earth chakra, because this is where we're going to start. And we're going to work our way up the body all year long, because that's how energy flows. It flows up through the body and then back down. And so if we started at the top, if you have issues in the lower chakras, it doesn't matter what you're doing in a higher chakra. So if you're not familiar with what a chakra is Sanskrit for energy wheel or energy center. And there's some debate on whether the chakras are actually physically in the body or are they out in the energy field. I truly believe that they're both, that they're not limited to the body or to the energy layer. They just kind of free flow all around us. And what they do is they feed life force energy to the organs that relate to that chakra, to specific endocrine system organs, to the energy meridians that, I mean, you can just visualize them like veins and vessels that flow through the body. That, you know, we have veins and vessels that flow blood and lymphatic fluid through the body. Now imagine that an energy vein is also flowing energy. If those get clogged, you got a problem. And so this month, we're talking about the earth chakra. And so why this is important to reflecting and growing authentically is that it focuses on your relationship with the planet, your place on this planet. And so when you can align with this, your physical being, your physicality will align with source energy so that you can create on this planet. And so this is the chakra that we work on when we're living in fear, because like I said about living authentically, most people don't out of fear. They're worried about what people are going to think or say about them. And honestly, who cares? Seriously, who cares what people say? Because that is more about them. It's all about them, and it really has nothing to do with you. You're triggering something in them, and that's not your problem. It's not. You be you. And so this chakra, when it is balanced, when it is strong, helps you manage fear. Now, we can't eliminate fear because that's just part of being a human, but you can manage it and keep it under control. Now, this chakra is very important because we are in a new energy. And when I say new, I mean, this has been going on for at least 5 years, maybe longer. But we're in this energy where we need to remain grounded while we ascend. Some people feel like they just need to ascend into higher vibration, and that is not the best thing to do. We are here on this earth. We have to stay connected to the planet for a variety of reasons, but one of which is when we are in synchronicity or in vibrational frequency with the planet, we feel our best. And we can ride the changes that the planet are going through. Now, I don't want to believe me, I can go way off track here with the vibrational frequency of the earth and how it's spiking, which is why people are feeling yuck and stuck and why people are getting angry. Staying connected to the earth is one of the best things that you can do right now. So what do? How do you keep your earth chakra balanced? Well, one, you need to connect to Mother Nature. You can do this in a variety of ways. So right now, it's January. I live in Michigan. There is no way that I am going to go outside and connect with Mother Nature in the way that is powerful for my earth chakra and my body, because that method is called earthing. And it is where you put your bare feet on the bare ground. I am not doing that in 20-degree weather. But if you live in Arizona or Florida or Australia, which is in summer right now, go for it. Because when you connect to Mother Earth, you start exchanging ions with the earth, and it's very calming and it's very soothing. And so when you think about going to the beach and you walk barefoot on the beach, don't you feel awesome? That's exactly what connection to the earth chakra is. Now, another thing that you can do is use earth chakra essential oils. So this is going to be tree oils because trees have very deep roots that go into the ground. So use tree oils. And if you like crystals, pull out a black tourmaline, and that can ground you and get your earth chakra balanced so that it's not depleted or so that it's not overactive. It is just perfectly stable. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to be talking about the 4 energy layers, but I wanted to show you what this looks like. So, you know how I just said that some people believe the chakras are in our body, others believe that they are out in the energy field. This is an image of the energy field, where it's like an egg bubble around our body. Some people call it the aura. Some people can see this. They can see colors or they can just see blurriness. But the first layer is our physical layer. The second layer is our emotional layer, where all of our emotions are and what we feel. Our third layer is the mental layer. This is the layer where our belief system is housed. And the final layer is our spiritual or our karmic layer, where all of our spiritual lessons and spiritual experiences, including past life, can live. And so when we're dealing with the energy layers, the brief and probably the simplest explanation I can give is that as we go through our day and our life, everything that we experience with all of our senses is recorded in our body. And so our cells act like a major flash drive. They store absolutely everything that we see and hear and touch and taste and feel. All of these experiences come from the outer layers and start to come through the layers. So I want you to imagine something that is at the spiritual and karmic layer, and it starts pushing itself into the mental layer, then it pushes itself into the emotional, and then it pushes itself into the physical layer. Because by the time that you feel something physical, it has gone through all of those other layers. The thing that I love about energy healing and working with essential oils and crystals is that we can work in these outer layers to make sure that something does not get to you physically. And so I'm going to talk about some products. I'm even going to talk about some books that are on topic for reflecting and growing authentically and that go through these 4 energy layers. I tell you, I get so geeky and woo-woo over this. I just love it. And I hope you do too. So first I want to share this with you, and I just put this on the Manifested Harmony Facebook page. So if you want to download this, go to the Facebook page. This is, for me, an amazing daily self-care tip sheet. This is what I do every day, in addition to other things. But to me, if I am not doing at least 7 of these things every day, I'm a wreck. I really am. If I'm not taking care of myself, I cannot take care of anyone else or my businesses. And so my goal is to do all 10 of these every day, but it's really about easing your way into these. Because if you've never done anything like this, I don't want you to go, full hog into this and then burn out. Pick 2 things, do it every day for a week, and then add another thing for a week, and then add a 4th for a week, and then add a 5th, and just start moving this in. But to me, this is a nice blend of techniques and essential oils, which are probably the most soothing thing that you could really do for self-care. So like I said, go to the Manifested Harmony Facebook page. You can download it. You can save this as a screensaver on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet. You can print it off and put it on your bathroom mirror as a reminder. So I want you all to have that. So let's get into some lifestyle recommendations. So we talked about reflecting first. Now, what are some recommendations that you can do to help you with the reflecting part so that you're taking care of yourself while you're doing this? Well, the first thing is, if you find yourself saying, I don't have time for self-care, I don't have time to reflect. Like, I don't even have time to brush my teeth and comb my hair and eat properly. I don't have time. This is where I really hope you will step back for a second, take a deep breath, and start tracking your time for a week. I did this for 90 days. Actually, I think I did it for 6 months, where I tracked every single minute of my day, and I found themes. And one time waster theme that I found was just scrolling aimlessly through social media. I mean, I like keeping up with friends, but it was not self-care for me, and it wasn't doing anything to help me as a person or to grow my businesses. And so I encourage you to track your time. If you ever catch yourself saying, I don't have time, you'll be amazed at what happens. And you track it from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. I mean, I put in there when I took a shower, when I ate breakfast, when I scooped the litter boxes, when I went walking around the block, when I played on social media. And you'll be stunned. And I color coded everything because I'm just that sort of person. But track your time. Another thing to do is to have some quiet time. And this is alone time. So when you have no space to breathe, that is a sure sign that you are living your life for others. And you are going to burn out because you're not living your life. And if you burn out, if you're a mom, if you are a spouse, if you are running your own business, or if you are important in the workplace, if you are not at your best, everything is going to fall apart. You have to take care of yourself first, and quiet time is going to get you there. 10 minutes a day. You can meditate if you want, but most people are not good at meditation. So just take that pressure off of yourself and just be quiet. No phone, no television, no computer. Quiet time. Listen to very soothing music. Turn on an essential oil diffuser. Sit with a crystal. Play with oracle cards or tarot cards. Go out in nature. I like to do meditation walks where each step that I make, I actually count the step, or I say in my mind, left, right, left, right. It gets me out of my brain and gets me into that ritual, and it's very soothing. Another thing to do is to breathe deeply. So here is what I call the alternative nostril technique. I want you to take your hand, take your thumb and your index finger, and I want you to point them directly at your face, and I want you to put your thumb on one nostril, your index finger on the other nostril, so like you're gripping your nose. When you breathe in, I want you to press your thumb against the one nostril, and when you breathe out, I want you to switch and press your index finger against the other nostril. And what you're doing is you are balancing your left brain, right brain by breathing in through one side and out through the other. We often go through life and we don't take a deep breath. We are so frantic and so stressed and so freaked out and anxious all the time that we breathe very shallow. Your body is paying the price because you're not oxygenating your cells. When you find yourself really stressed, take even 15 seconds and do this. It's amazing how you will feel. It completely calms you down, and it calms down your nervous system. Another thing to do is to journal, a gratitude journal. This is something that I feel is so important as you reflect, because if you start a gratitude journal, then a year from now, if you are looking at what you did or you didn't do, and if you're feeling a little down, you can go to your gratitude journal and that will lift you up. This is a very important thing to do because it puts you in a mindset of looking for things to be grateful for. And when you are looking for things to be grateful for, they will appear. But if you are looking at things that are going wrong, they will appear. Okay? Another thing to do is to get healthy sleep. You can't reflect on your life when you're exhausted. And so what does this mean? Before you go to bed, you can't be drinking a lot of alcohol. You're not going to get good sleep. You got to remove the technology at least an hour beforehand. Sleep drugs can impact your sleep. It's removing the distractions. So this might be a good time to have your quiet time or read a book. I like to read personal development books right before I go to bed. And that really helps. So having healthy sleep is going to put you in the mindset where you can reflect on your life without being exhausted. Because when you're exhausted, it's hard to view things positively. And when you can, wake up with no alarm, especially on a weekend. And then another thing that I recommend is planning a 1 to 2 day winter rejuvenation retreat. I like to take retreats where I disconnect from everything. I will go and check myself in at a bed and breakfast so that I cannot be in my daily routine. And it really works because this will allow you to reflect and rejuvenate. I cannot say enough about these. I do these when I have a big project that I need to get done. I will take myself out of state, lock myself in a bed of breakfast, and I will write a book. I've done that, and it's amazing. But for reflecting, I would recommend a rejuvenation retreat. And it'll unplug you from the daily life so that you can think. Now let's flip over to growing authentically. So I talked about growing where you're planted. So it's about getting in the space where it's okay where you are right now. Because where you are is where you are meant to be in this moment. And so if you're still thinking, I didn't do what I needed to do in 2018 or 2017 or 2016 or 2015, this is where you need to flip that around, because where you are is where you're meant to be. There is a lesson here to be learned. You are growing. You are learning something. Grow and bloom where you're planted. Live with purpose. People who have a purpose every day actually live longer. There's research studies on this. So living with a purpose means that you give yourself permission to change, but only you can decide that you're going to change. So let me ask you these questions, because it's going to tell you whether you're living with a purpose. Whatever the first thing is that pops into your mind, That is the answer that's going to give you clarity. Are you satisfied with your life? Do you wake up every morning excited for what the day will hold? Do you know what fulfills you? Do the people around you help you live with purpose? So here's what I find. Most people play it safe and then they wonder why they're stuck. Because when you're playing it safe, you anchor yourself. And so you can't move. And then you're stuck. So it really comes down to, what do you want to leave in this life? What's your legacy? Like, what gifts do you have? Because if you don't produce your gifts in this world, then they're not going to be here, because you have gifts that are very unique to you. It's finding them. And so if you're not living authentically, you're not sharing your gifts. You're not living with purpose. You're not leaving a legacy. And so this is really about finding your purpose and doing it no matter what the skeptics in your life say. And I always go back to Gary Young, the founder of Young Living. Imagine if Gary had let the skeptics tear him down. Young Living would not be 25 years in the industry. They've actually been in longer, but officially incorporated as a business for 25 years. They wouldn't be the leader. They wouldn't be changing people's lives had Gary listened to the skeptics. That's where we need to go with Live with Purpose. What is it? What's your purpose? Because when you are authentic, you will know your purpose. Another thing to do is to have a morning ritual. Now, I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more, I think, in the 3rd month. But have a morning ritual, and that's where, go back to that 10 tips chart that I just shared. And when you have a morning ritual, your day is going to start off with the right energy, and you're going to find that it goes better. Another thing to do is to daydream. You know, what do you want? What do you want in life? Just daydream. Let yourself daydream. Too many people don't. Have daily gratitude. Keep that gratitude journal going, because when you write down what you're grateful for, rather than just say it out loud or repeat it in your mind, when you write it down, it creates new neural pathways in your brain. And that's very powerful, because what we believe can create our reality. So it's kind of like you're faking out reality and all of a sudden it'll appear. Because there's things in life that go by that we don't see, but when you start focusing on something, you're going to see it. Another thing to do to grow authentically is to speak your truth. And truth is always with grace and kindness. It is never mean-spirited. It is always with grace and with kindness. But if you're not speaking your truth, you're not living your life. You're living out of fear. And so it's important to step over fear, because those who are happy and authentic are living courageously. Fear is just an illusion fueled by your energy. It's false expectations appearing real, F-E-A-R. And if you don't face your fear and step over it, it wins, and you will not grow and you will not be you, which impacts you living with your purpose. And so courage is actually acting in spite of challenges, hardship, pain, despair, and anxiety. Because when you feel fear, you are on the edge of growth. So when people say to me, Allie, I'm really afraid, I'm like, yay, because you're on the edge of growth. Don't succumb to it. You kick fear in the face and you step over it. Another important thing is to be around those that you admire. I've heard this time and time again, that you are only as good as the 5 people around you. You are only as good as the weakest link around you. So look at the people that you are hanging around the most, whether it's family or friends or coworkers. Are they people that you admire? Are they people who are, setting goals and meeting them? Are they people who are doing things? Or are they people that complain? Because you're only going to be as strong as the weakest person. So surround yourself with those that you admire, either in person or online. Create a vision board. Like, what do you want? This goes back to daydreaming. speaking your truth and living with purpose. Get it on a vision board. Like right now as I'm talking, I can't tell you how many vision boards I have in my office. It's a lot. It almost looks like graffiti, but I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them. And I have affirmations. I have photos. One of my affirmations is, I expect the best for myself. Another affirmation says, the goal isn't more money. The goal is living life on your terms. I look at those every day, and it's feeding my subconscious. So make yourself a vision board. And then the last thing is, when you set a goal, you just can't say, I want to fill in the blank. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to double my business. I want to find a loving relationship. That's okay, but you got to set the steps. How are you going to lose 20 pounds? How are you going to double your business? How are you going to find the relationship that you want? Because this is what tells you what you need to do every day. You got to break it down into little itty bitty steps that are going to get you there. And this is why most people set a goal or a resolution and they never meet it. In fact, it is dead by the end of January because they didn't do the steps. Now let's go to some essential oil products. So you know that I am such a believer in Young Living's mission of wellness, purpose, and abundance. These products are so pure and so good for us because of their seed to seal process. They have their own farms that you can drink these products. You can safely smell them. You can safely topically apply them. So I have broken down, and each month I'm going to recommend 4 products. One for physical body, one for emotional body, one for mental body, and one for spiritual body. So let's dive into these. For your physical body this month, for reflecting and growing authentically, it's getting on Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red supports your entire body and all 12 body systems. It supports your cells and your cellular function. How powerful is that? That's really powerful, because at the end of the day, if you physically feel rotten, it doesn't matter what goal you have in life. You're really going to struggle to meet it. Physically, you need to feel awesome, and this is the drink. It's the highest antioxidant drink on the planet. When you think about antioxidants, our bodies are full of free radicals, and free radicals are the scourge of a well body, and the antioxidants eat free radicals for breakfast. They do. So you want to drink this. It supports all 12 body systems. It has citrus oils with D-limonene. Just Google what D-limonene does, because you're going to see stuff like it supports weight loss, cell support, it's anti-inflammatory, it reduces gastric acid, it reduces anxiety and stress. That's what D-limonene does. This product is packed with it. It gives you natural low glycemic all-day energy, so no more grabbing caffeine or energy drinks to artificially pump up your body just so that you're going to crash again. This is going to give you natural energy. It has the Ningxia wolfberry, which is the highest wellness berry of all the goji berries, of which there are about 80 species. It helps to neutralize oxidative stress. That's what prematurely ages us. So this is going to help you look awesome. My cats even drink this. My 80-year-old father drinks this, because if you don't feel well physically, it's hard to do anything. Next is our emotional body. The product I'm recommending to help you reflect and grow authentically is Progessence Plus. Now, this is for women. If you're a man watching this, you're not going to want to take this. For a man, I would use the Shutran oil, Shutran. But Progessence Plus contains progesterone from wild yams. And wild yams help to harmonize the cycles of the body and support female well-being. You do not have to cycle this where you're on it 21 days and then you go off 7 days like normal progesterone or synthetic progesterone. This can be used every day. It can be used as soon as a teenager starts cycling to the very last day of your life. This is an emotional oil because often emotions keep us awake at night and have us fearful and worried about things. And progesterone is calming. It also has oils like copaiba, which calms the body. Sacred frankincense, which actually helps us relax. Cedarwood is calming and grounding. It has bergamot, which eases stress and relaxes the mind. It has peppermint, which is good for emotional well-being. And it has clove, which has eugenol in it, which is a super high antioxidant. And what happens when antioxidants get into the body? It relaxes it. So this is your emotional well-being product. Next on the list is your mental product. Now, as soon as I picked this product for the month, it promptly went out of stock. So I'm flipping it. Instead of grounding, we're going to talk about into the future, because it is the product that it most mimics grounding, which grounding is a good energy oil to connect you with the earth. But let's talk about into the future instead. So it has tree oils, it has flower oils in it, very similar to grounding. This is the oil blend that helps you look forward to goals and dreams. It helps you look forward to the year, to move forward and to leave the past behind. It'll help you with visualization and meditation. It'll help you to release fear. So do you find that you're afraid of what you can do in life? Let this help you find out why you're blocked, and let it help you release it. So it brings awareness to your potential. It helps you with choices for the future. It helps you to move beyond disappointments and criticisms. It helps you to move beyond fear of failure and releasing old limiting beliefs. Doesn't that sound like the most awesome oil blend ever? I love that oil. That oil is going to support you at the mental body, which is where we store all of our beliefs, because our beliefs often get in the way and stop us from progressing. And then last is our spiritual layer. And the oil I picked this month is Grow, because we really need to grow in all areas of our life, because if we're not growing, we're dying. And so this will start you at the spiritual layer, because remember how I said everything starts at those outer layers and works its way into the body? This is going to help you start growing at those spiritual layers so that you can work inwards. There are 31 oils in this blend. I'm not even going to go through all of them, but what this is this is an oil that grounds you and helps you ascend at the same time. That's what I said about the earth chakra too. Remember, we have to ground to the earth while ascending. So the grounding oils, some of them include black spruce, blue cypress, cedarwood, and juniper. The high vibrational oils include Roman chamomile, frankincense, sandalwood, neroli, and rose. It also has blue tansy, which is the fear-busting oil. If you suffer from fear, get Grow, because it will bust the fear out of you. So this oil works at the spiritual layer and will ground into your body to help you stay focused on your priorities, rather than allowing others to pull you off of what you know is important for your self-care. This is an amazing focus oil and spiritual growth oil to let you step into your life that you are meant to live. Because when you are you, everyone around you benefits. Everyone. So don't ever think, well, Allie, I'm a mom. I have a very demanding job. I have a very demanding spouse. Well, you know what? If you are you, maybe those demands won't be there. Maybe you will start to live in synchronicity rather than feeling like there's all these demands. So this energetically works on your chakras, energy blocks. It clears blocks. It helps you with daydreaming, with harmony, with self-love and visualizing. It's very soothing to the body's energy, because it's drawing down spirit energy. You're going to feel attuned. It makes you more aware of your energy and the energy of others. It makes you present so that you don't go out of body and disconnect, which is what people in fear or denial do. They disconnect. And then they wonder why they feel so icky, because they just disconnected from their body and the earth. So doesn't that also sound like an amazing oil? It is. It really, really is. Now, lastly, I just want to talk about some books that also can help you at these 4 layers. Now, these books can actually cross over into all 4 of the layers of the body, but I kind of broke it down just to help you. So for your physical body, The Way of the Happy Woman is one of the best books I have ever read. And I think I read this book about a decade ago. It is amazing because this is a book of learning how to live with the cycles of the season. There are yoga, stretching movement techniques, there are food techniques, there are cleansing techniques. You know, one thing that a lot of people feel when January 1st arrives is that they need to have a weight loss goal for January 1st. The winter months are the worst times to lose weight because it's contrary to nature. We're supposed to pack on the weight to get us through the hibernation season of winter. So this is why most people do not achieve their weight loss goals. This book talks about it. You wait until spring. That's when you do it. That's when you shed the weight, and you're going to do it naturally. If you try to do it now, you are fighting an uphill battle. I love this book. It is amazing. And there's food recipes in it that I still to this day use. They're amazing. The next book is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. This is about letting go of who you think you are and embracing who you are. So it's changing that emotional trigger in you that, well, I'm a mom, I'm a lawyer, I'm a wife, whatever it is, it's letting go of who you think you are so that you can be you. It's an amazing book. The next book is The Big Leap. This is for your mental layer, your core beliefs that are holding you back, and it helps you overcome the biggest fear to happiness and success, which is really achieving your true potential, finding your purpose of being here. It's an awesome book written by Gay Hendricks. And the last book is, I adore this lady so much. Cheryl Richardson wrote The Art of Extreme Self-Care. The name says it all. When you really need self-care and to get into that spiritual layer, this is a book that I highly recommend. All right, so if this intrigues you, and if you are not yet using Young Living essential oils, I would encourage you to get started. Really, this is the start of the year. Let's jumpstart your wellness and get 2019 off to a good level. Now, if somebody else invited you to this webinar, certainly go to them and enroll with them. Get your wholesale account. If you want to enroll with me, I will load you into my private Facebook team page. You're going to get free training, free educational materials. But I'm going to focus on the oils, but like you saw, I'm going to focus on other stuff as well this whole year. And so if you want to follow along, if you're listening to this and you are in my essential oil team, a bulk of the information is going to go into our private Facebook page. But you can also follow me and get information on Instagram, on my public business Facebook page. These webinars are going to go on YouTube. So I am broadcasting this material all over the place because I want to get it to everybody. All right, so that's the end of this webinar, and I am so pleased that I got this done in about 45 minutes. That's a record for those of you who know me. So unless there are any questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar. So I want to really thank you for joining in, and I hope you come back. Next month, the webinars are always going to be the second Wednesday of the month. Typically, they're going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern for the live webinar, but if you register, I will always send you the recording, and you can also find it on my YouTube page. So I would encourage you to mark February 13th on your calendar, and next month we are going to be talking about balance and boundaries. This is like a huge trigger for people. So I encourage you to come back and learn more. So thanks for joining in. Take care.